You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and your stomach feels heavy, like there's a weight sitting right there in your lower belly, and you head to the bathroom hoping that today will be different, but nothing happens, and you sit there for minutes that feel like hours pushing and straining until your face turns red and beads of sweat form on your forehead, but still nothing moves. And then you finally give up, exhausted, frustrated, and wondering why your body just won't cooperate anymore. And this isn't just happening once in a while. This is your reality. 3 days, 4 days, sometimes even a whole week without a proper bowel movement, and the bloating gets worse every single day. Your pants feel tighter. Your abdomen feels like it's going to burst. And that uncomfortable pressure never goes away even when you're trying to enjoy a meal with family or relax in front of the TV. And the worst part is how it makes you feel trapped in your own home because you're always worried about the discomfort, the embarrassment of needing a bathroom urgently when one finally does come, or the fear that nothing will come at all, and you start declining invitations to visit friends, canceling plans to go out, because constipation has taken control of your life and stolen your freedom and your confidence. If this sounds like your daily struggle, then you're definitely not alone, because millions of seniors over 60 are dealing with the exact same problem right now. And the truth that most doctors won't tell you is that you're probably making 5 critical mistakes every single day that are blocking your bowels and keeping you constipated and uncomfortable. And these mistakes are so common, so deeply ingrained in your daily routine, that you don't even realize you're sabotaging your own digestive health. But here is the really good news today. I'm going to reveal exactly what these 5 mistakes are. And more importantly, I'm going to show you simple, practical ways to fix every single one of them starting right now today, so you can finally experience the relief and regularity you deserve. Before we dive into these life-changing solutions, I want to ask you something personal. Where are you watching this video from right now? Drop a comment below and tell me what city or country you're in. And while you're down there in the comments, I'd really love to hear about your experience with constipation. How long have you been dealing with it? What have you tried that hasn't worked? Because I read every single comment, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear, to know they're not alone in this struggle. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell, because we're building a community of people just like you who are taking control of their digestive health naturally. And I share new tips and solutions every single week that can transform your gut health and your quality of life, so make sure you subscribe so you never miss out. Now, let's talk about the first major mistake that is blocking your bowels every single day, and I guarantee you that almost every senior makes this mistake without even realizing it. Mistake number 1 is eating your meals at the wrong times, especially eating your largest meal late in the evening. You see, your digestive system has a natural rhythm that follows your body's internal clock, and when you're over 60, your digestive system slows down significantly compared to when you were younger, and this means that timing becomes absolutely critical for regular bowel movements. Here's what happens when you eat your biggest meal at dinner time, around 6 or 7 or 8 p.m., your body is already starting to wind down for sleep. Your metabolism is naturally slowing, your digestive enzymes are being produced in smaller amounts, and your intestinal muscles that push food through your system are becoming less active. And then you pile a large, heavy meal on top of this already sluggish system. And what happens? That food just sits there in your stomach, and intestines moving incredibly slowly through your digestive tract, and by the time you wake up in the morning, that food is still sitting there, partially digested, creating gas bloating, and that heavy, uncomfortable feeling that makes you not want to eat breakfast. And this creates a vicious cycle because when you skip breakfast or eat very little in the morning, you disrupt your body's natural elimination pattern. You see, your colon is most active in the morning hours, right after you wake up, This is when it naturally wants to contract and push waste out of your body. But if you haven't eaten anything substantial, if you haven't given your digestive system the fuel and stimulation it needs, then that morning urge never comes, and you're stuck constipated for another day. Research published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology found that seniors who ate their largest meal at lunchtime and a lighter meal in the evening had significantly better bowel regularity compared to those who ate heavy dinners. The study followed over 200 seniors for 3 months, and the results were remarkable. Those who switched to eating more at lunch experienced bowel movements an average of 5 times per week, compared to just 2 to 3 times per week for those who continued eating large dinners. And the reason this works is because eating a substantial meal in the middle of the day, when your digestive system is at its peak performance, gives your body plenty of time to break down that food, absorb the nutrients, and move the waste through your intestines so that by the next morning you're ready for a comfortable, easy bowel movement. Ancient Ayurvedic medicine has known this principle for thousands of years. They teach that your digestive fire is strongest at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky, and this is when you should eat your main meal. And modern science has now confirmed this ancient wisdom, showing that meal timing can be just as important as what you eat when it comes to preventing constipation. So how do you fix this mistake starting today? It's actually quite simple. Make lunch, your largest, most substantial meal of the day, include plenty of fiber from vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Add some healthy protein from fish, chicken, or plant-based sources. And don't be afraid to eat until you're satisfied, because this meal needs to fuel your body for the rest of the day. Then in the evening, eat a lighter, smaller meal. Think of a bowl of vegetable soup with some whole grain bread, or a salad with grilled chicken, or a small portion of fish with steamed vegetables. The goal is to give your digestive system something light and easy to process, so it can focus on moving things through rather than working overtime to digest a heavy meal. And here is a crucial tip that most people miss. Eat breakfast within 1 hour of waking up, even if you don't feel hungry, even if it's just a small bowl of oatmeal with some fruit, or a couple of eggs with whole grain toast. Because eating in the morning stimulates your gastrocolic reflex. This is the natural contraction of your colon that happens when food enters your stomach, and this reflex is strongest in the morning. So by eating breakfast, you're essentially telling your colon, hey, it's time to wake up and get moving. Now let's move on to the second mistake, that is silently blocking your bowels and making your constipation worse day after day. And this one is going to surprise you, because everyone tells you to do it, but they're telling you to do it wrong. Mistake number 2 is drinking water incorrectly throughout the day. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, drinking water can be wrong, but yes, absolutely, it can. And most seniors are making this critical error without realizing it. You see, it's not just about how much water you drink, it's about when you drink it, and how you drink it, and what you're drinking it with, because all of these factors determine whether that water actually helps your constipation, or whether it just passes right through your system without doing anything to soften your stool or stimulate your bowels. Here's the mistake. Most people drink tiny sips of water throughout the day, maybe a few ounces here and there, and they think they're staying hydrated. But here's what actually happens when you drink small amounts of water. Your kidneys process it quickly, and most of it ends up in your bladder and gets eliminated as urine before it ever reaches your large intestine, where it needs to be, to soften your stool and prevent constipation. And this is especially true for seniors, because as you age, your body becomes less efficient at retaining water. Your kidneys filter more aggressively, and medications like blood pressure pills and diuretics cause you to lose even more fluid. And the result is that your colon becomes dehydrated, your stool becomes hard and dry like little rocks, and no amount of pushing or straining is going to move it comfortably. A groundbreaking study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 150 seniors with chronic constipation for 8 weeks, and they discovered something fascinating. The seniors who drank water in larger amounts, at specific times of day, had dramatically better results than those who sipped small amounts constantly throughout the day. Specifically, the group that drank 16 ounces of room temperature water first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and another 16 ounces 30 minutes. Before their largest meal experienced bowel movements, an average of 6 times per week compared to just twice a week for the control group. And the researchers found that drinking larger amounts of water at strategic times creates a flushing effect in your intestines. It literally helps push waste through your system and signals to your colon that it's time to eliminate. There's also another critical factor that most people ignore, and that is the temperature of the water. You drink cold water actually slows down your digestive system. It causes your intestinal muscles to contract and tighten, making it harder for waste to move through smoothly. But warm or room temperature water has the opposite effect. It relaxes your digestive tract, stimulates peristalsis, which is the wave-like muscle contractions that push food and waste through your intestines and helps soften stool, naturally making elimination easier and more comfortable. Traditional Chinese medicine has prescribed warm water for constipation for over 3,000 years. They understood that warm liquids stimulate the flow of qi or energy through the digestive system, and modern research has validated this ancient practice, showing that warm water consumption significantly improves bowel transit time, especially in elderly patients. So how do you fix this water drinking mistake, starting right now? First thing every single morning, before you eat anything, before you drink coffee or tea, before you do anything else, drink 16 ounces of warm or room temperature water. You can add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice if you like, because lemon stimulates bile production, which helps with digestion. But the key is to drink this water on an empty stomach, so it can go directly to your intestines and start the hydration and flushing process. And within 20 to 30 minutes, you should feel your digestive system waking up. And many people experience the urge to have a bowel movement within an hour of this morning water routine. Next drink, another 16 ounces of room temperature water, about 30 minutes before your lunch, which remember should be your largest meal of the day. This pre-meal water does several important things. It helps fill your stomach slightly, so you eat more mindfully. It prepares your digestive system for the incoming food, and it ensures that your intestines have plenty of fluid available to mix with the fiber from your meal, creating soft, bulky stool that moves easily through your colon. Throughout the rest of the day, continue drinking water, but focus on drinking 8 to 12 ounces at a time. Rather than tiny sips, aim for a total of 64 to 80 ounces per day, depending on your body size and activity level, and avoid drinking large amounts of water with your meals or immediately after eating, because this can dilute your digestive enzymes and slow down the digestion process. Instead, drink most of your water between meals, giving your body the best chance to absorb it and use it where it needs it most, in your intestines. And here's one more crucial tip that can make a huge difference. Stop drinking ice-cold beverages, especially first thing in the morning or with meals. Let your water come to room temperature or warm it up slightly before drinking. Your digestive system will thank you, and your bowels will start moving more regularly within just a few days of making this simple change. Now, let's talk about mistake number 3. And this is probably the most common mistake that seniors make when they're trying to fix their constipation. And ironically, this mistake actually makes constipation worse, even though everyone thinks they're doing the right thing. Mistake number 3 is eating the wrong type of fiber, or eating fiber without proper preparation. Now, you have probably heard 1,000 times that you need more fiber to fix constipation. And yes, fiber is absolutely essential for healthy bowel movements. But here's what nobody tells you: Not all fiber is created equal, and if you eat the wrong type of fiber, or if you add fiber to your diet too quickly, without the right preparation, you can end up more bloated, more gassy, and more constipated than you were before. And this happens to seniors all the time. They hear they need fiber, so they start eating bran cereal or taking fiber supplements, and within a few days they feel worse, not better. And they give up thinking that fiber doesn't work for them, when the real problem is that they were using fiber incorrectly. Let me explain the two types of fiber and why this matters so much for your constipation. There is soluble fiber, which dissolves in water and forms a gel-like substance in your intestines. This type of fiber is found in foods like oats, beans, apples, pears, and chia seeds, and it helps soften your stool and feed the good bacteria in your gut. Then there is insoluble fiber, which does not dissolve in water and acts like a broom sweeping through your intestines. This type is found in wheat, bran whole, grains, and the skins of vegetables and fruits, and it adds bulk to your stool and helps it move through your digestive tract faster. Now, here's where seniors get into trouble. They load up on insoluble fiber, especially wheat bran, because they've heard it's the best thing for constipation. But if your digestive system is already sluggish and dehydrated, adding a bunch of rough, insoluble fiber is like trying to push a dry broom through a narrow pipe. It just gets stuck and creates more blockage, more cramping, and more discomfort. And this is especially true if you're not drinking enough water, because insoluble fiber needs plenty of fluid to work properly. Without adequate water, it just sits in your intestines, absorbing whatever moisture is there and making your stool even harder and drier. A major study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science tracked 180 seniors with chronic constipation. For 12 weeks, one group was given wheat bran supplements with their regular water intake, while another group was given a combination of soluble and insoluble fiber from whole food sources like oats, vegetables, and fruits, along with increased water consumption. The results were shocking. The wheat bran group actually reported increased bloating and abdominal pain with only minimal improvement in bowel frequency, but the whole food fiber group with mixed soluble and insoluble types experienced significant improvement, with bowel movements increasing from an average of 2 per week to 5 per week, and they reported feeling less bloated and more comfortable overall. The researchers concluded that the type of fiber matters enormously, and that combining different fiber sources with adequate hydration produces far better results than loading up on one type of fiber supplement. So how do you fix this fiber mistake? The answer is to focus on getting a balance of both soluble and insoluble fiber from whole food sources rather than relying on processed bran cereals or fiber supplements. And you need to add fiber gradually to give your digestive system time to adjust. Start your day with a bowl of cooked oatmeal, which is rich in soluble fiber that soothes and lubricates your intestines. Top it with sliced banana or berries and a tablespoon of ground flax seed, which provides both types of fiber plus healthy omega-3 fats that reduce inflammation in your gut. For lunch, include plenty of cooked vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. Cooking vegetables makes their fiber easier to digest, while still providing all the benefits, and add some beans or lentils, which are excellent sources of both soluble and insoluble fiber. For dinner, have a large salad with mixed greens, cucumber, tomatoes, and avocado. The raw vegetables provide insoluble fiber, while the avocado adds healthy fats that help lubricate your intestines. And throughout the day, snack on fresh fruits like apples, pears, and oranges, which contain pectin, a type of soluble fiber that is incredibly beneficial for gut health. Now here's the critical part that most people miss. When you increase your fiber intake, you must also increase your water consumption significantly. For every 10 grams of fiber you add to your diet, you should drink an additional 8 ounces of water. This is non-negotiable, because fiber without water is a recipe for worse constipation, not better constipation. And start slowly. If you're currently eating very little fiber, Don't suddenly jump to 30 or 40 grams per day. Increase gradually by 5 grams every few days and give your body time to adjust. This prevents the bloating, cramping, and gas that happens when you add too much fiber too fast. Also consider adding prunes to your daily routine. Just 4 to 6 prunes per day can make a tremendous difference. Prunes contain both types of fiber, plus they have natural sorbitol, which is a sugar alcohol that draws water into your intestines and stimulates bowel contractions. Many seniors find that eating prunes soaked in warm water first thing in the morning creates a gentle, natural laxative effect that helps them have regular, comfortable bowel movements. And one more important tip, avoid dry processed fiber supplements like Metamucil or Benefiber unless absolutely necessary. These products can be helpful in some cases, but they often cause more bloating and discomfort than whole food fiber sources. If you do use them, make absolutely certain you drink at least 16 ounces of water with each dose, and start with half the recommended serving size to see how your body responds. But honestly, most seniors get far better results from eating real foods, like oats, beans, fruits, and vegetables, rather than relying on powdered supplements. Let's move on to mistake number 4, and this one might make you uncomfortable to think about, but it's absolutely essential that we talk about it because this mistake is keeping millions of seniors trapped in a cycle of constipation and frustration. Mistake number 4 is ignoring the urge to go or sitting on the toilet incorrectly. This sounds simple, maybe even silly, but the way you respond to your body's signals and the position you use when trying to have a bowel movement can make the difference between easy, regular elimination and painful straining that damages your body over time. Here's what happens to so many seniors. You feel that subtle urge, that gentle signal from your body that says it's time to go to the bathroom, but you're in the middle of something, watching a TV show, reading the newspaper, talking on the phone. Or maybe you're out somewhere and you don't want to use a public restroom, so you ignore that urge. You tell yourself, I'll go later when I'm done with this, and you push that feeling aside. But here's what you don't realize. When you ignore your body's natural urge to eliminate the stool that was ready to come out, starts moving backward slightly, and it sits in your rectum longer than it should, and while it's sitting there, your colon continues to absorb water from it, making it harder and drier. And the next time you feel the urge, it might be weaker, less urgent, and if you ignore it again, the cycle continues, until eventually you stop feeling the urge at all. And now you're dealing with chronic constipation and impacted stool that requires serious intervention to remove. This is called suppressed defecation reflex, and it's extremely common in seniors, especially those who have mobility issues or who feel embarrassed about needing the bathroom frequently. And once you train your body to ignore these signals, it becomes incredibly difficult to retrain it to respond normally again. A clinical study from the British Medical Journal followed 95 seniors in nursing homes who complained of severe constipation, and researchers discovered that over 70% of them regularly suppressed their urge to defecate because they needed assistance getting to the bathroom or because they felt rushed by caregivers when the facility implemented a program that encouraged immediate bathroom access. Whenever residents felt the urge, constipation rates dropped by 58% within just 6 weeks. The lesson is clear. Your body knows when it's time to eliminate, and ignoring that signal has serious consequences for your digestive health. Now let's talk about the second part of this mistake, and that is sitting on the toilet incorrectly. Modern toilets are designed for convenience, not for proper elimination. The sitting position with your hips at a 90-degree angle actually kinks your rectum and makes it harder for stool to pass through. It's like trying to push something through a bent hose instead of a straight one. And this is why so many seniors sit on the toilet straining and pushing for 10 or 15 minutes with little to no result. They're literally working against their own anatomy. For thousands of years before modern toilets existed, humans squatted to eliminate, And this position is actually ideal for bowel movements. When you squat, your puborectalis muscle relaxes completely, straightening out your rectum and allowing stool to pass easily and effortlessly without any straining. Studies using X-ray imaging have shown that the anorectal angle in a squatting position is significantly straighter than in a sitting position, making elimination faster, more complete, and requiring much less effort. And this is why people in countries where squatting toilets are still common have much lower rates of constipation, hemorrhoids, and other bowel disorders. A fascinating study from Japan compared bowel movement quality in seniors using different toilet positions. One group used standard Western toilets, while another group used a small stool to elevate their feet and mimic a squatting position. The results were remarkable. The squatting position group had faster bowel movements, averaging 51 seconds, compared to 130 seconds. For the sitting group, they reported significantly less straining, and they felt that their bowels emptied more completely, reducing that frustrating feeling of incomplete evacuation that so many seniors experience. So how do you fix this mistake first? And most importantly, never ever ignore the urge to have a bowel movement when your body signals that it's time to go. Stop what you're doing and head to the bathroom immediately, even if it's not the perfect time. Even if you're busy, even if you're somewhere unfamiliar, make it a priority, because honoring your body's natural rhythm is essential for maintaining regular bowel function. And over time, as you consistently respond to these urges, your body will start sending stronger, clearer signals, and your bowel movements will become more predictable and regular. Create a bathroom routine that encourages regularity. Many people find that they naturally feel the urge to go about 20 to 30 minutes after breakfast because eating stimulates the gastrocolic reflex. So set aside time in your morning schedule, specifically for this. Sit on the toilet for a few minutes, even if you don't feel an urgent need, and allow your body to relax and respond naturally. Don't bring your phone or reading material. Just sit quietly, breathe deeply, and give your body the opportunity to do what it needs to do. Now for the toilet position issue, you don't need to completely remodel your bathroom or install a squatting toilet. Instead, get yourself a simple footstool that raises your feet 6 to 9 inches off the ground when you're sitting on the toilet. This is sometimes called a toilet stool or squatting platform, and you can find them online or at most home goods stores. When you sit on the toilet, place your feet on this stool so your knees are higher than your hips. This mimics the squatting position, straightens your rectum, and makes elimination so much easier. Many seniors report that this simple change allows them to have complete, comfortable bowel movements in just a minute or two with zero straining. Lean forward slightly while sitting with your feet elevated, rest your elbows on your knees, and keep your back straight. This opens up your pelvic floor muscles even more and creates the optimal angle for elimination. And breathe, don't hold your breath and push. Instead, take slow, deep breaths and allow the natural pressure in your abdomen to do the work. Straining and pushing hard can lead to hemorrhoids, anal fissures, and even dangerous increases in blood pressure. So let gravity and proper positioning do most of the work for you. Finally, let's talk about mistake number 5, and this is the one that ties everything together. Because even if you fix the first 4 mistakes, if you're still making this 5th mistake, you will continue to struggle with constipation day after day. Mistake number 5 is living a sedentary lifestyle without enough movement throughout the day. Your digestive system is not designed to work properly when your body is sitting still for hours on end. Movement is absolutely essential for healthy bowel function because physical activity stimulates peristalsis, those wave-like muscle contractions that push food and waste through your intestines. When you sit or lie down for extended periods, your digestive system becomes sluggish. Everything slows down, and waste just sits in your colon, getting harder and drier with each passing hour. And this is especially problematic for seniors who may have mobility limitations or who spend a lot of time watching TV, reading, or resting.